Toe Talk Tuesday.
Happy Toe Talk Tuesday. Christina, are you ready to travel back to Rome and
I
look at some more
totally am.
toes?
I totally am. Let's do it virtually here. There we go. Rome right foot.
Okay. So
Okay.
we are back in Rome and we
We're
are looking
back in
at
Rome.
statues. We're
We
looking at statue
are.
feet.
And like we talked about, these were modeled after most of these, like there was a model. So I think that these are decent representations of some toes of the time.
Yeah.
And so again, one of the things like we've talked about before with this one is that smaller first toe and the longer other toes. Such communicators and expressors, very important. And also a decent space between that first and second toe.
Yeah.
That and this foot, that channel of leadership. And this is a statue of somebody important. So that tracks, that makes sense. One of the things that strikes me in this particular one, though, is how straight and forward facing the first three toes are. And then we have that fourth toe that kind of curves down and over into the action toe. And then the fifth toe is just completely down under, curled under that fourth toe.
Yeah.
And so if I was doing a toe reading on this person, I would, encourage them to communicate, to self-express, to really take aligned action for themselves. And where I would invite them to make some changes, invite them to work with the energy of the toes would be in that relationship with others, because that fourth toe relationship is just down pointing and hiding a little bit, finding worth outside of action, maybe not. What about sitting with someone in presence? Again, we're not talking about ancient Roman toes, we're talking about modern toes and how we see ourselves in these, but sitting with someone without maybe having to do anything and finding value in that and worth in that. And then most of all, boy, that little toe, that was the first thing that caught my attention as far as areas to improve.
Yeah.
That toe looks like it may have been broken a few times.
That,
And
that's what
so,
popped out of me. I was
like,
like, oh, broken,
yeah,
broken right little toe.
broken right little toe, massaging that, bringing some more flexibility into that, releasing the energy that is blocked in that. When we break our toes or any bone in our body, there is blocked energy that is in that. And that's why we end up sometimes from an energetic standpoint with arthritis or other challenges in these parts of our bodies that we've broken. So as I'm looking at this toe, I'm finding some relation in my own right toe, and I started massaging it because honestly, trust and prosperity are things that much of humanity is working with generationally. We've been taught not to trust. We've been taught to tie our worth to things outside of ourselves. And so working with that little toe would be very beneficial.
Yeah. Yeah. I love all of that you said. And the only things that I would add are in that relationship toe. Um, you mentioned how it was pointing down, and often when I see toes that are pointing down that way, like there's that gripping, right? Like, and we almost like like where is this person holding on to their relationships that maybe are not serving them?
Mm.
Um, right? Where are they doing too much work in the relationship and feel like they have to hold on? Um, and then also what really stands out for me is, and again, with full knowledge that we're looking at a stone replica of what we assume to be a real human foot. Um, the amount of like creases in here in all of the toes, which to me, when I see toes that have a lot of creases, it means those toes are bending there, right? And so a lot. So when I see that, I think, oh, this could be somebody who has a lot of flexibility in their toes. And when we talk about flexibility, again, it's like um, where it's very intuitive, right? Like where they may be being overly flexible um, in their in shifting and changing in their communication and their actions and um, there's in their relationships as well. Like where might they just be people pleasing as a characteristic? And so it's showing up in all of the energies of their toes. And this is something that I have in my toes. So it's something that I know near and dear to my heart, that hyper flexibility in the toes. And so just a little bit of um, as I look at those toes and feel my own, like sort of giving that permission um, of hardening a little bit, of taking, of strengthening, instead of being overly flexible, building up that muscle.
I love that so much. And I think that that is perhaps the big takeaway that I would love people to take away from this is overly flexible, overly rigid. Either one is an out of balanceness. And so identifying those patterns in your toes can help you see in your life where these things are also showing up. Too much flexibility, meaning um, you, always flowing with whatever energies that are. That's a survival response, to just always flow and not stand, or taking that stand and being absolutely immovable in that, another survival response. And what we have the opportunity to do is see and then work with the energy in the toes,
Yeah.
and that will transmit into our entire being and then out into our interactions with the world.
So as you're watching this video, I'm curious, what are things that maybe you notice that we might have overlooked or not? We've gone kind of quick flash reading on these toes, but if you've been following Toe Reading Academy and our videos, maybe you have some insights that we've overlooked in this video. Share those in the comments below. As always, click like and subscribe. And if you're interested in learning more, head on over to toereadingacademy.com and learn more about our workshops, our certifications, download our incredible intuition guide, um, and learn more.
Thank you. Happy Toe Talk
Happy
Tuesday.
Toe Talk Tuesday, everyone.